Hello, people of YouTube. It's Deepack here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 8th of November 2025. I hope you all enjoyed that, my most recent tutorial all about the NS430 Navigator unit. Today, we took a little look at how to do direct to and how to use procedures in the unit. So hopefully that helps people who are trying to figure it out. It is a somewhat complex unit and a little bit quirky in its operation, but it does very closely match the way the real world unit works. So if you have any experience with that, you might not find it too difficult. So, welcome to the stream, Tech Gaming 45. Hello, Darkness Temple. Hello, Eagle Wings. Hello, Byron Farrow. Good evening indeed. Nord Flight, Alex Mortz. Welcome all of you to the stream. Welcome aboard. Good to have you here. I'll take this opportunity, as I often do, to remind you, if you would like, if you want to further support the channel, you can subscribe, like, or comment, which is a really big help to me. And also, there is, of course, the option of joining Deepack's ground crew by clicking the join button below for a small monthly fee. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, though. Welcome, Channel Right. Hey, hey, hey. So, yes, very exciting, very exciting. That's actually my last video on the NS430. There isn't really anything more to demonstrate. I might do an example flight one day and do that as a bonus video, but for now, I think we've covered basically everything we can do with the unit, and I'm going to be moving on to demonstrating the Phantom. Heat Blur is absolutely fantastic module, and a module that continues to receive really big, nice updates. Just last week there we got the new IFF added to the system, and more interestingly, and something that I still need to dive into a little bit, is the persistent aircraft state. Which I think sounds absolutely fantastic. It's based on selected livery and tail number, so I'm gonna have a go with that before I start my tutorial series and see exactly how it works. Actually, the one simple thing, something that I really like the sound of, is even just the fact that like your switch positions and so on are persistent. So if you don't do like a full incorrect shutdown, you can end up starting your next mission with the aircraft in a somewhat unknown state, or a somewhat non-standard state, which is kind of fun. Ryan McGee and B. Denson, welcome to both of you as well. Welcome aboard. As always, I am monitoring chat, so feel free to ask questions down there and I will respond. That's why whenever you see me looking off this way, just like this, that's me looking at chat. Alrighty. So, anyway, let's dive into the news from Eagle Dynamics, their weekly newsletter. As I do every week. Nordic Flight saying there, I'm holding off on the F4 until Jester can use the pave spike. Well, that kind of functionality was added to the F14. So Heat Blur know how to do it. I guess it's on their plans there somewhere. Actually, speaking of which, let's have a little bit of fun here. Let me see if we can find the roadmap, because Heat Blur, as I recall, actually have a public roadmap for all of this, and it's probably something that we can take a quick peek at. They have been very good at sharing all of that. If I can actually find the correct link. Yes, they're public Trello. That's the one. Here we go. Alrighty. So let's dive straight into this. We have the public Heat Blur Trello board. Byron Farrow, his eyes are upon us. Yes, like Sauron. And yeah, you've got kind of, future things and F4 features and improvements and so on. So, yeah, there is a bunch of stuff. That's going to be implemented. Heat Blur, as always, are very, very ambitious. They have a whole load of really cool stuff. Show details? No? Okay. I've actually not looked at this board recently. Shipped with 2.9. The Forge dynamic cockpit. This is kind of fun. Yeah, this was apparently shipped. So, yeah, actually, this was the kind of basic version of it that they were hoping to deliver with the F14. We already have bits like that. So changes in fabrics, cushions, dynamic modex numbers. And then we had those kind of little elements of the cockpit, like different mechanisms for holding the buttons on and so on. They were kind of, yeah, different in different places, which is very cool to see. Yeah, I don't think there's much else actually to mention here. But yeah, this Trello board of theirs is very good to take a look at. How up to date it is, I'm not 100% sure, but it's here and you can check it out. So anyway, jumping back to the newsletter. We've got the big news this week, of course, which is the Balkans map. So, Honore Tech team is pleased to announce the DCS Balkans map that will cover the Balkans, the Adriatic Sea, and coast of Italy. Read the details below and check out the development screenshots. The Balkans map will add a new temperate map to DCS that will provide exciting scenarios for aircraft such as the F-16C and MiG-29A. Of course, ED giving big shout-outs to their own aircraft, but you can fly any aircraft you like, although those are good choices for sure. So here we go. This is kind of a sample of what the Balkans may look like. It's very, very exciting, and we've got some kind of floating airfield here. I guess this is a work in progress, as it says. Some beautiful mountains. We've got probably somewhere that people will recognize, but I don't. This is looking very nice, actually. There's a few kind of obvious points of interest here. These are obviously real buildings. I just don't know them. And then some nice Soviet-era living blocks. We like to see it. A nice building here as well. Some nice roofs. Very good. And then we're at Normandy 2.0. Now, actually, there was posted a map somewhere. I don't know. It's not on here, actually. But if we jump to the Stormbirds news article on this, stormbirds.blog, you should always check them out for your DCS news. They actually have posted here, alongside some very handsome fellow interviewing Matt Wagner, they've posted actually an image of the map of the area that will be covered. So apparently the green area is going to be high resolution and the yellow area is going to be slightly lower resolution. But the most important stuff is here. And so, of course, we're going to be launching, Blue 4, that is going to be launching from Italy, it would seem. So. Richard Diss, welcome. Irish Pat 64, Ryan McGee. Do we get RPG infantry and Adidas tracksuits? Well, the game certainly already has RPG infantry, so maybe that could be a livery option. Who knows? Byron Farrow, day one purchase. Although sadly, my house is about 50 miles off the map edge. Those are Venice. Oh, that's Venice. All right. Venice is going to be in this. Oh, okay. That's cool. Alrighty. Nordic Flight. I'll get the Balkans map ASAP. Served there many moons ago. Morzo, Balkans map without Strike Eagle is sad. Well, of course, some of us have the Strike Eagle. But I guess if you don't already have it, you're not going to have it. Although, who's to say at what stage the Strike Eagle might stop working, because Razbam modules are only guaranteed through DCS World 2.9, I believe. Darkness Temple, going to be a large map. Current Hill is in the house. Mention his name and he will come. Beef Supreme, any truth to the rumour about Raz modules being removed next update when the Super Herc drops? That's pure speculation, and the reality is, well, of course, we know that they're unlikely to work beyond DCS World 2.9. That's already been broadcast. The idea that they'll be removed is kind of, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Because, as we know, the Hawk by VEAO is still playable in the game. You just need to use the DCS updater to roll back to the last version number when that was supported. So, if you're prepared to roll your DCS installation back to the last version of 2.9 that had Razbam modules, you will never lose the modules. So, I know that's not much of a consolation, because, of course, then there are probably not going to be very many multiplayer servers to play on. But yes, you're not going to lose your modules per se. I saw that post you're talking about, Beef Supreme, and it smelled very much of FUD to me. It sounds like people fear-mongering. Welcome, Jaro Grozny. Ryan McGee, thinking the guy from behind enemy lines. Test to Pest, all I want for Christmas is a working stopgap from ED. What do you mean by working stopgap? What's that mean exactly? Byron Farrow, hey, Current Hill, just a quick thank you for the assets, making DCS a living world. Yes, I very much like Current Hill's assets, and the other guy whose name I now can't remember. I'm really sorry. Oh no, the other guy whose stuff was integrated, which I actually really like. He had a bunch of like crew chiefs and so on. Oh well. Hopefully someone in chat remembers, and then I'll give that person a big shout out as well. Stone S, hello virtual pilots. So anyway, yes, this is the Balkans map. Venom, welcome, ahoy hoy. In an upcoming DCS update, we are planning 2 exciting new additions to Current Hill's ever-expanding collection of high-fidelity assets. The Grisha-class corvette and the EC-665 Tiger UHT attack helicopter. Recently, Matt Wags Wagner sat down with Deepack. That name rings a bell. Who's that? For an in-depth interview covering all things DCS. The discussion covers many common DCS questions, and it delves into his history and thoughts on the current and future state of the simulation. This is the first in a series of several upcoming interviews with popular DCS content creators. They included me in that group. I'm pretty sure the people he's going to talk to next will be a bit more popular than me. But anyway, that's nice to be included. Very nice indeed. Darth Pirate, welcome. FX, I personally haven't bought anything since the Razbam issue has arose. Well, yep, and I understand that. Like to be honest, it's a bad situation. It does call into question the stability of the platform and so on. So it is reasonable to have these concerns, definitely. And then of course the Polychop situation, which is also uncertain, although their modules were both updated in the last update. But we still don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, I think if you're not 100% sure about your investment in the sim, then yes, you probably should hold off until you feel a little more confident about things. Dirk G, hello. Rish UK, or Richie. Do you believe there is map fatigue? Do you think it will hurt incoming map? People do talk about it. People talk about the fragmentation of the community. So I guess it could be a problem. But what you're probably going to find is that certain groups of people will kind of gravitate towards particular maps, and they'll probably fly them a lot. So I'm not personally particularly worried about that. But yeah, it could happen. Example, the VAF. We almost exclusively fly in the Syria map because that's what we've kind of standardized on, really, to a greater degree. So yeah, you'll probably find particular groups of people will gravitate towards particular maps and fly them a lot. But I think there's definitely always room for more maps. And the thing to keep in mind is that ED have said many times that the majority of the player base is single player and is playing kind of curated, kind of community produced or third party produced campaigns. So, having more maps will open up more possibilities for interesting campaigns for people to fly, I think. Oh, wow. Byron Farrow, your interview was promoted on social media but didn't include a link. So I corrected that in the comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much indeed. Osprey, welcome. Joe Speed 52, here I am waiting on Southeast Asia. It has been mentioned. Hello, Colin Kelly. Hello, Zathras. Hello, Stone S. At Astro Recordings, more concerned, with Onray Tech's update cadence than map fatigue. Darkness Temple, I think the maps will do more justice when Dynamic Campaign is out. That's a good point, actually. I hadn't considered that. But yes, that will make it pretty good. TechGimme 45 can never have enough maps. Yeah. I guess it's all a matter of personal opinion, really. Like, what kind of play style do you have? What kind of maps do you want to play? You don't have to buy them all. You just need to buy the ones that you want to fly on and the ones that your friends are flying on as well. Anyway, moving on. The Balkans map. In partnership with Onray Tech and following the very successful launch of the DCS Sinai map, that was actually a really nice map, the DCS Balkans map will allow the recreation of NATO operations over former Yugoslavia from 1991 to 2001. You will be able to fly as either Serbian or NATO Air Force pilots over this varied and historically important theatre. The map will feature picturesque coastlines and numerous islands of the Adriatic Sea. Additionally, dramatic mountain ranges, including the Dinaric Alps, the Apennines, and the Dolomites, as well as deep forest valleys, rivers, lakes, forests, and fields. Onray Tech is creating an impressively wide variety of landscapes across the Balkans and Italy. The urban centres are as diverse as the natural landscape, with the stunning city of Venice, the medieval town of Dubrovnik, which is where some of Game of Thrones was filmed, the bustling ports of Trieste, Bari, and Rijeka, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and the cities of Belgrade, Zagreb, and Podgorica are included. Wide highways and rail lines connect the big cities, and small villages and settlements dotted across the map. Onray Tech is currently working on important military airfields located in Italy, Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Kosovo. This includes Aviana Air Base, the Italian Air Force base that is home to the US Air Force's 31st Fighter Wing that flies the F-16C. Civilian airports such as the Venice Marco Polo Airport, one of the largest in Italy, are also being modelled. Here we go. Let's see what everyone's saying here. It's already scrolled off the screen. Dirk G, it was a very interesting interview. Venom Cinematic, yeah, they need to make maps more affordable. Richard Diss wants a world map. Blue Horizon Squadron maps are crucial. Hard drive space is even more crucial. And Crucial can actually supply your hard drive space. Haha. Anyway, Golden Gnu, where did you put John Bluer? He's unfortunately not available right now, but hopefully I can tempt him back on the stream. His absence is, sadly felt. Eagle Wings, the Balkan is going to be very interesting. I love doing campaign missions in Falcon 4. Looking forward to its release. Stone Ass, you have to buy them all? Yeah, you don't have to buy them all. Just like Pokemon. Oh dear. What's everyone saying? A lot of people complaining about storage. Oh dear. Jaro Grozny tip when reading Balkan city names: C is never a K. Thank you. Ad Astra, I'll likely pass on the EA for this map until I see a positive feedback from the community. Always a sensible move. Unless you're wanting to just show your support or you're desperate to get your hands on it. It's always a good idea to wait a little bit. I never do that, but do as I say, not as I do. Yes. Yeah, very, very cool. Very exciting. So, the map is planned to be available in 2026. For the latest updates on its development, please visit the DCS Onray Tech forum thread. We look forward to your feedback and wishes for this long-awaited map. IrishPat64 really enjoyed the WAGs interview. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hopefully I'm going to get some more big names from the community on the show. If you are a big name on the community, if you're a third-party module maker or another content creator who makes content about DCS World and you would like to be interviewed on the show or just hang out, please get in touch. I am always looking for more people to interview and talk to. Channel Right, I haven't played the German map as I'm awaiting the release of the Typhoon. Yeah, I was just about to say what Stone S has said. The German map is fantastic. I really like it. Really like it indeed. Current Hill, I agree in the disk space. I have multiple DCS versions for testing, so I've converted to 8 gigabyte NVMEs. I'm thinking you mean 8 terabyte. Yes, there we go. 8 terabyte, of course. Richie UK, can I ask, does the Phantom 2 have an in-seat cockpit help regards to starting up the aircraft? Just got it and it seems to be complicated. Yes, actually, That's one of the really nice things about the F4. The entire manual and all the checklists are available via the Heat Blur UI in-game in cockpit. And also elements of the cockpit, elements of the manual can be, I think it's, you hold Alt and click on them or something like that, and it actually takes you straight to that element in the cockpit. Or is it vice versa? Elements in the cockpit can be clicked to take you straight to the element in the manual. Anyway, either way. Richard Dis, can you put the link of the interview? Well, it's the previous video to this one on my channel, so it should be quite easy to find, and you shouldn't be watching that right now. You should be watching this live. But yes, I think you will find it. Also, if you just do a search for Deepack WAGs, you will definitely find it. Anyway, Current Hill, new assets. We are excited to share that the Current Hill pack will be receiving new assets that will expand mission building possibilities. The Grisha-class corvette is optimized for anti-submarine warfare and coastal defense operations. It will have radar and missiles, a close-in weapon system, point defense gun, and a deck gun. And actually, let me see, can we get to the screenshots? Did they give us a screenshot for this one? Sadly, it would seem not. Although, what have we got here? Oof. We got some nice fulcrum pictures that I didn't notice before. Very nice. That's the compartment for the drag chute, I believe. Very nice. Anyway, let's leave that. Yes. Test the Pest. Deepak, I've sent you a message on Discord. Maybe you can watch it after the stream. I'm going to be sneaky and take a little peek. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, I'll come back to that later. Rich UK, yeah, great interview. Stone S, I am loving the recent update to the F4. Oh, yes. I'm really excited about that, actually. I haven't poked into it too much myself, but I'm going to. Golden Gnu Tiger is so cool. Saw it in an air show earlier this year. It's crazy what it can do. Yeah, no additional screenshots, sadly. Oh, well. Very nice. Anyway, we also have the Tiger. Meanwhile, the AI only, they're very, very careful to let us know we can't fly it. The AI only EC665 Tiger UHT, the German variant of the Eurocopter Tiger, can conduct reconnaissance, close air support, and anti-armor operations with tactical finesse. We look forward to delivering these assets to you in a future update. Well, I'm very much looking forward to this. You know, it's really going to kind of grow the possibility for creating interesting scenarios. We're just getting more and more stuff. And I think Mazoon was the name of the other guy whose stuff was integrated. It just came to me there. Very cool. Nice. Anyway, what else was in the newsletter? Well, as I said, the DCS interview. Wags and Deepak talk DCS. Recently, Matt Wags Wagner sat down with Deepak for an in-depth interview covering all things DCS. The discussion spans everything from Matt's long history with flight simulations and his start in the industry to his vision for the future of DCS. Some key highlights include insights into the design and planned release strategies for highly anticipated features such as Dynamic Campaign and ATC Overhaul, how third-party additions have evolved over the years, and the direction Eagle Dynamics aims to take as DCS continues to progress and evolve. Watch the full interview on Deepack's YouTube channel, which just happens to be where you are right now. Amazing. Really appreciate the shout out. Thank you very much, Eagle Dynamics, and thank you, Wags, for agreeing to talk to me. Mine was his first interview during this kind of recent series of interviews, and why he chose my pokey little channel, I don't know, but I'm very happy that he did. Eagle Wings, the Typhoon is what is also holding me back from exploring my Kola map. I want to relive the Super Typhoon. Oof, yes. Kola is another great map that I haven't flown enough. We have so many good maps, which are quite, detailed and expansive. It's good. Golden Gnu, it was a great interview. Really shines through. He wants to do more than they have the people to do. I think that's pretty much always the case. Yeah. More developer time would be great. Current Hill, thanks DCS Italia. I'm very proud over the new 15 Russian Cold War era assets. They're really nice additions to the Germany Cold War map. Well, you can see why they've been prioritized. It makes perfect sense. Fantastic. So, yeah, we did, we also had the stormbirds.blog article, which kind of covers the same stuff, although we have a breakdown of the airfields that are planned. I've got them on screen now. So we have actually a lot of airfields planned to be in this particular map, and they are spread out over quite a few different countries as well, with Italy, Croatia, Montenegro, Serbia, Slovenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, and Kosovo being covered. So you'll have the opportunity to operate from a variety of lovely locations. Yeah, so the FAQ, we know that it says that the map will be 1,200 by 1,000 kilometers in size. The early access price will be $39.99, and the full release price will be $49.99. The map will have a detailed area shown in green, with a wider area done with lower detail. The developer plans to release the map closer to the end of 2026. So about 1 year from now, basically. Very cool. Anything else from the Stormbirds article? I think it's pretty much exactly what was covered in the newsletter already. So, yeah, not much more to say there. I'm interested, chat, have any of you tried out the persistence option for the Heatblur F4? It's something that I really want to dive into and have a go with. And I feel like it's one of those things, kind of like, they've been showing off quite a lot this sort of walk-around capability. Pretty much ever since the Hercules added the Loadmaster and his ability to wander around, we've seen a bunch of videos, including one of Eagle Dynamics' videos for the MiG-29, where they kind of walk up and get into the cockpit. We also saw from the video of the LA7, I think, unless they faked it, also using this feature. So it kind of feels like that's a feature that's probably coming. Having persistent aircraft which save their state is also really cool. And this really leverages the simulation of the systems that Heatblur have developed for the F4, where they're simulating the friction on needles inside instruments, and systems kind of aging and voltages fluctuating and the various effects that they might have. They did detail it in a couple of blog posts, and it's very, very cool indeed. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit of a deep dive into that while I'm doing the tutorials for the Phantom F4, which will start next week, just to give you a little channel update there. Also, while I'm doing a channel update, I might as well say, hey, please, all of you who are watching right now, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment. It's a really big help to me and to the channel. And you also have the option to join Deepack's ground crew for a small monthly fee. You can do that by clicking the join button below. It's no more than the cost of a cup of coffee per month, and it really helps me in making this content. You gain access to a private Discord server with myself. You get direct access to me. That might be your dream, that might be your nightmare, but it's what you get. We all fly together once per month, which is great. And I also have channels in the Discord where I upload links to all my videos, and I upload missions, although I'm a little bit behind on that. I need to update that and upload all of the missions that I use for making my tutorials. Also, I guess, on the NS430, do you guys feel like I've missed anything? I've now covered the kind of basic operation, the flight plans, the direct to, and the procedure modes. If there's anything you think I've missed, let me know. I do intend to do an example flight using it in a video, so that will come soon. Blue Horizon Squadron. That's not a bad price. Oh no, Tea Kettle Barbecue is on the scene and giving away ground crew memberships. Thank you ever so much, Tea Kettle Barbecue. I really, really appreciate these regular giveaways that you do on the channel. It's such a big help. Thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind. Eagle Wings, I do not own the F4. The module is shaping out really good. The electronic flight bag is amazing. I wonder when this would be implemented in the F14. I think it's safe to say that pretty much everything that we've seen in the F4 will eventually make its way to the F14. I think that is their intention, but it is probably going to take them quite some time. They've still got a lot of active development on the F4, and they are, of course, in parallel developing the Typhoon and the Intruder. So perhaps we should give them a little bit of time on that one. Stone S, I was wondering the same thing about the F14. I thought they were going to remaster it or something. Yes, well, they are going to port across the features. I don't know about a full remaster, because to be honest, the F14 is bloody good. Like its current state is already very, very high fidelity. So I don't know if a remaster is necessary. But getting some of these features would be great. And they have mentioned working on that in the past. So I think it is coming. Nice. Alrighty. Well, again, thank you very much, Tea Kettle Barbecue. That's extremely kind of you. We have even more ground crew members than before, and I'll be giving them all a bit of a shout out later on in the video. Another kind of update on a channel, but not this channel, is Deepack on Tech. I did mention a couple of weeks ago that I'm starting another YouTube channel, this time one centered on technology. It's really going to be about Linux, command line, terminal usage, coding, and all that kind of fun stuff. I've started uploading videos already, although the channel will get a bit more active next week. There's only one video up right now. If you want to keep up to date, I have a Blue Sky profile. You'll find me at deepackontech.bsky.social, and my profile is on screen now. It also has the link to the one video that I've done so far. On YouTube, I'm also just Deepack on Tech. And my one video that I've got up right now, unless you're very much into terminal user interfaces, is probably a little bit boring. It's all about Timer 2e, but it is live and you can see it now. So I just thought I would get that information out there. Deepack on Tech. Follow me on Blue Sky if you use Blue Sky. That would be great. Fantastic. What's everyone saying here? Blue Horizon Squadron, we need to push them to make the Foon priority and release paint kits for the Phantom. Nice. Blue Horizon Squadron, Deep, will you be attempting Linux from scratch? Linux from scratch is a very, very interesting one. Actually, one of the earliest distros that I used was Gentoo, which is not far away from Linux from scratch, honestly. So perhaps I might do that. Although I currently use NixOS, that's my main one at the present time. And Golden GNU asking for a link to my Blue Sky. There's a link to the Blue Sky in the chat there. And let me also very quickly throw in a link to the YouTube channel, just so that we have all of that as well. This will take me just a moment. I think that's the link. See if that actually works. It does. Fantastic. There you go. So links to my Blue Sky and to my channel if you want to check out that kind of thing. If you're not interested in tech and you're just here for the flight sim stuff, then stay here. This is where I'm going to continue to talk about that. And that's not going to actually, it's not going to impact this. The schedule will remain the same. I'll be doing tutorials on Saturdays followed by the DCS news. So no change there. Nice. Dirk G, any news about the F-15 full fidelity? Well, that is supposed to go into early access in 2026, and my estimate, although Eagle haven't said anything, but my estimate would be later in 2026. Nice. Cool, alrighty. Well, I'm going to take my opportunity, as I often do, to pimp the VAF just now. So we have the VAF, oops, I pressed the wrong button. The VAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is a virtual online squadron originally started by myself and Dot Chuckles many moons ago. We currently fly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at around about 8 PM UK time, with squadrons flying the Harrier, the F-16, and the F-18. Everyone is welcome to join us, whether they fly with us or not. And we're, of course, also looking for air traffic controllers, mission makers, livery makers, scripters, all kinds of people, basically. Everybody is very, very welcome to join us. There's a link to the VAF Discord in the show notes below. Go ahead and click it, and yeah, you can hang out with us. We have a bunch of text channels discussing a variety of topics, mostly aviation, of course. So, the VAF. Indeed. So, what's everyone saying here? Golden GNU, did they give a time frame for the F-35? That's a good question. I actually don't know. They mentioned that development was underway. I remember that much. But if we go into the official FAQ here, development will start in earnest in 2025 with a released goal in 2026. this is subject to change. When we have a more specific date, we will update this FAQ. So there you go. Nordic Flight, I guess the LA7 and the C-130 are the modules to be released soon. Yes. I actually thought the C-130 would already be out, but I didn't take into account how long testing takes. So yes, we know that it's in internal testing with ED right now, and then shortly it's going to enter internal beta testing as well. Internal beta? Anyway, they're going to give it to their beta testers soon. Morzo, have you checked out the low-level nav tool by Fly and Wire? Not sure how it will integrate with DCS, but it's an amazing concept. I have not, but now that you've mentioned it, I will, of course, go and take a look. Richie UK, after watching your interview, I too reminisced on certain titles like F-19 Stealth Fighter, F-18 Interceptor, 1942 Pacific War, etc. Oh yes. The Sky Dreamer. What I don't get about Eagle Dynamics is they have so many unfinished products, maps, and modules, but yet there's this urge to release more incomplete stuff. That's why I stopped buying. Well, if you don't want to support early access, then you're doing exactly the right thing. You should only buy products that you're confident in. When you say unfinished, I think technically the F-16 and the F-18 only have like one or two small items before they exit early access, so they're just about done. The Apache has like one or two small items remaining, and then it's out of early access. So what other modules would you mean? Well, I guess those three are the big ones for sure. Chinook, of course, is still fairly incomplete, and MiG-29, but that's only just been released, so that's to be expected. Golden Canoe, wow, 2026 is going to be great. I would imagine the F-15 is kind of a sure thing for 2026. The F-35, with no background information about how far along they are, and we haven't really seen anything of it, but I'd be very surprised if the F-35 made it. But, they're aiming for some kind of an early access release in 2026. Could happen. You don't know. Root, do you think F-35 would be practical for DCS? A stealth fighter in DCS may render other BVR-capable platforms useless, or just one side with F-35 dominating the skies. Well, as we've said before, balance is in the hands of the mission makers and the server owners. So, you can create scenarios where it will make sense. Also, as Wags himself even said recently, quantity is a quality all of its own. So you just need greater numbers against the F-35, I guess. Blue Horizon, don't forget the Rafale. Don't you worry, I have not forgotten the Rafale. The Rafale is very, very cool. Richie UK, what about a V-22 Osprey? Well, I would fly that. That would be super cool. Darkness Temple, I wish there was a flyable module for the B-52 in high detail. Have you been looking at those trailers for the Microsoft Flight Simulator one? I know I have. Max Power, incomplete would be the F-15E. But that's not an Eagle Dynamics module. So the chappie, the Sky Dreamer, was specifically speaking about Eagle Dynamics. They're not the developer for the F-15E Strike Eagle. Do you think World War II aircraft unbalance the game? Probably not. Probably not. And Golden Canoe, the Rafale is going to be awesome too. Instant buy. Nice. Yes, I would very much agree. Very, very much agree. So I'm going to take a moment to pimp the ground crew now, actually. I'm going to leave their names running in the background while I do the last part of the video. That is basically all the news we have for this week. It's been a slightly quieter week, but there is a lot of really, really cool stuff on the horizon. Like I said, next week I'll be doing Phantom videos. I'll dive into my tutorial series on that, and I'm hoping that shortly thereafter we'll see the C-130, and I will obviously make some videos on that as well. Because I'm very, very excited for the C-130. Dog, welcome to the stream. So good to have you aboard. Got some people using the Moza. Very cool. Adam, in reference to the F-35, it won't unbalance the game at all. Well, like I said, it's not going to unbalance the game. It could unbalance particular scenarios, but that's in the hands of whoever makes the scenarios. Yeah. Just make the scenarios balanced and the F-35 won't unbalance them. It's that simple. Cool. Alrighty. Anyway, that's basically everything we have for this week. I've been Deepack. Every Saturday, I release a new tutorial at 6:30 p.m. UK time. I just finished my series all about the NS 430, and next week I'm moving on to a series on the Phantom. And that's always followed by the DCS News, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. Thank you all very much for watching. Fly safe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.